Waste has become a serious global problem. Every day, we create a huge amount of waste, and to better understand the scale of this problem. Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Take a look at the largest cornucopia in the world. This cornucopia is located in the APEC region near the city of Las Vegas. America once held the Guinness World Record for being the largest landfill on the planet. With a size equivalent to 1,250 football fields lined up side by side, the Apex landfill receives an average of 8,000 to 9,000 tons of trash every day. Since its establishment more than 30 years ago, this landfill has received more than 50 million tons of garbage and is expected to receive a similar amount of garbage for about 250 more years. This is truly a huge number, a testament to the enormous amount of waste we create. Americans are not the number one waste disposal problem. There is a country in the world that processes cornstarch so well that they even have to import it, and we are talking about a very livable country in the Nordic region, Sweden. Sweden is a country that stands out for its outstanding achievements in the field of green energy. Known as one of the most livable countries in the world, Sweden has gone through a long journey full of effort and dedication over many decades to build an effective waste treatment and recycling system. Fruit. Over the past 10 years, Sweden has achieved astonishing results. Only about 1% of waste from households goes out of landfills, while most of the remaining waste is recycled. Thoroughly handled. In fact, Sweden has become a global model for turning waste into a valuable source of energy, so much so that the country has to import more waste from other countries to keep its factories running. Processing and recycling. Sweden's dedication and determination in environmental protection and sustainable development not only confirms its pioneering in the field of green energy but also proves that a sustainable future is completely achievable through innovation and unremitting efforts. Therefore, Sweden is not only a leader in environmental protection, but also an endless source of inspiration for the whole world in the journey towards a greener planet. What are the specific purposes of importing waste? Sweden, with a large area of nearly 500,000 square kilometers located on the Scandinavian peninsula, is a northern European country with a sparse population of just over 10 million people. However, what makes this country special is the combination of harsh climatic conditions and pioneering steps in environmental protection. In winter, Sweden faces extremely cold temperatures, especially in the north near the polar circle, where temperatures can drop to -15 to -16 degrees Celsius, and record lows have even been recorded. Record -52.6 degrees Celsius in 1900. Such coldness was not only a challenge to people's survival but also posed a major heating problem during the long winter. Faced with that situation, more than 30 years ago, Sweden became one of the pioneering countries in the world to apply heavy taxes on fossil fuels. This forced the Swedes to look for alternative solutions to meet their heating needs. And the solution they found was trash. Waste is no longer simply something that needs to be processed, but has become a valuable resource. Sweden has developed a modern waste incineration system to produce thermal electricity, providing heating for the heating systems of households across the country. The system consists of giant furnaces, and heat is delivered to each house through a sophisticated network of underground pipes. It is worth noting that, while many other countries still depend on gas or fossil fuels to produce thermal electricity, Sweden has turned trash into a valuable source of energy. Although trash is not enough to heat all of the more than 10 million residents, it does provide energy for about 1.25 million apartments, an impressive and admirable number. Sweden is not only a country that knows how to live in harsh conditions but is also a shining example of transforming challenges into opportunities. They have proven that creativity and determination can turn even the biggest problems into effective and sustainable solutions. In Sweden, there is also a nationwide waste collection policy that is carried out very closely, so not only state-owned companies but also private companies will be able to participate in burning waste to power the same national heating network for the cold winters they do. Because this also exists. Profitable, but even so, Sweden still has a lot of people who are still criticizing this policy. Are they too strict? They think that the Swedes are still lazy in taking advantage of wood, so they send it to incinerators and that's it. Lack of awareness has occurred across the country. Sweden and its waste import may be seen as a paradox, but it brings profound lessons about creativity and determination in environmental protection. Although Sweden is famous as a leading country in converting waste into green energy, they still face a challenging problem: a shortage of the amount of waste needed to maintain the operation of the incineration system and thermal power generation. This may sound counterintuitive, but the reality is that Sweden has to negotiate to import waste from other countries such as Norway, England, and Italy. Every year, more than 30 incinerators in Sweden consume more than 5.5 million tons of waste. Of that number, about 20%, equivalent to 1 million tons, must be imported from abroad. When imports were insufficient or transportation was difficult due to high costs, Sweden had to find an equally bold solution: floating trash in the oceans. Marine trash, no matter who it belongs to, is becoming a potential resource. Accessing and exploiting huge volumes of garbage floating in the sea is more difficult than importing from other countries. However, with a determined and creative spirit, the Swedes did not give up. They have proposed a number of possible options, in which a plan to exploit and recycle trash floating in the Pacific Ocean is being considered. Although dealing with marine waste faces many challenges, Sweden is still determined to pursue this solution. It is not only a strategy to meet energy needs but also a demonstration of their commitment to environmental protection and sustainable development. Once Sweden had imported the waste and prepared it for processing, they implemented a sophisticated and efficient waste-to-energy process. However, this road is not always smooth. The process begins with waste classification. Recyclable materials such as paper, plastic, and glass are separated for recycling. The remaining waste after classification will be transferred to incinerators. Here, trash is burned to create heat. This heat not only provides energy to heat millions of homes but is also used to heat water, thereby creating steam. This steam turns turbines, producing electricity, contributing to the country's sustainable energy system. Metal fragments left over after the combustion process will be separated and recycled. Unburned materials such as porcelain and tiles are collected for use in road construction. This process helps optimize resource use and minimize waste. However, despite efforts and advanced technology, the waste incineration process still faces mixed opinions. Some people are concerned that, although Sweden has done much to minimize the impact, burning trash can still emit toxic fumes. This highlights a challenge that cannot be ignored in developing sustainable energy solutions. Civilization and culture. Sweden's success in waste treatment and recycling is not only a story of advanced technology but also a testament to steadfastness and determination since the early 1970s. The Swedish government has begun to implement strict policies on waste classification, requiring each household not to freely dispose of waste as they wish but must comply with specific regulations. Facilities and localities also had to seriously implement these policies, and as a result, in 1975, the household waste recycling rate only reached 38%, a number not enough to satisfy Swedish people. But Sweden doesn't stop there. Since the 1990s, the government has implemented a series of strong policies aimed at reducing waste, raising awareness among manufacturers and citizens, and reducing emissions. They have banned landfilling of organic and combustible waste, and imposed stricter standards for hazardous waste and landfilling and incineration, all established under federal regulations. European Union, EU. Thanks to continuous efforts, Sweden has significantly reduced emissions and the total amount of waste that needs to be landfilled over time. Their position is clear: it's best to have no trash. To achieve this goal, Sweden has implemented a nationwide waste recycling policy. Urban areas have invested in advanced waste collection techniques, including underground waste collection systems, which help reduce the load on roads and eliminate odors from waste. This proves something important. Sweden has achieved such an impressive level of cleanliness that it has to import trash, not because the Swedes don't create it, but because they use it wisely. Up to 99% effective. They still produce trash like the rest of the world, but the difference is that they have found a way to recycle and process trash excellently. Sweden, with its reputation as a waste-free pioneer, has adopted a series of effective tips to become a role model in waste management. Below are the outstanding factors that helped Sweden achieve this admirable success. Firstly, the presence of waste recycling stations is an important factor. In Sweden, every residential area has a waste recycling station located less than a mile apart. This ensures that waste classification and recycling becomes easy and convenient for all citizens. Second, small but practical actions also contribute greatly to this success. For example, instead of throwing leftover medications in the trash, many Swedes will take their leftovers to drug treatment plants to ensure they are disposed of safely. This shows people's concern and responsibility for environmental protection. Third, waste classification is not an individual's task but a shared responsibility. Every household is required to separate waste into categories such as paper, plastic, metal, and glass. Larger items such as furniture or electronics are taken to special recycling centers, often located outside of cities. Fourth, even old clothes are not wasted. Sweden has launched a program to exchange old clothes to receive discounts when buying new ones. This is a global campaign initiated by Swedish fashion brands, not only in Sweden but around the world. Even used clothes from Sweden are exported abroad, like in Vietnam, where they are called cedar clothes. While Sweden is not the only country that imports trash, their biggest difference is how efficiently they process and recycle trash. Sweden not only receives waste from abroad but also manages and converts it into valuable energy and resources. The story of Sweden is not only a testament to creativity in waste management but also a source of inspiration for the whole world. They have proven that, with commitment and persistent effort, we can turn waste into opportunities and move towards a more sustainable future. This is the end of our story today. If you feel like, remember to like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Hello and see you in the next videos.